Reports have come in that communist protesters have stormed government buildings in eastern Ukraine and declared themselves people's republics, asking for a referendum on separating from the rest of the country. According to the media, people raided military warehouses and armed the people's militias, taking control of many government buildings. People have said that communist flags have been raised over the buildings alongside Russian ones. Meanwhile, the Yasynikova coke plant in Makivka went on strike earlier, and now those who went on strike are now supporting the Donetsk uprising, which is one of those areas that has been taken over. Now, there's a little bit of confusion surrounding this. The protesters who have stormed the buildings and taken them have had a lot of actually communist flags with them. Now, at the time of the recording of what the media has been doing, like the only one covering the media at the time of this recording is the Russian media. And they, of course, have their own interests in portraying events a particular way. Now, there have been photographs of them holding Russian flags, but there's also been photographs of people holding many communist flags that have been suppressed by the Russian media in order to give it a pro-Russian slant. And those pictures are available, and they will probably become more available to us once time goes on. It's important to note here that these uprisings have taken place in the eastern end of the country, not in the Crimea region, but the areas surrounding that, where traditionally communists have had a lot of influence. Now, once those takeovers were done and they declared themselves to be people's republics, they then asked for Vladimir Putin to send military forces to defend them and reinforce their position. Which is a very dangerous thing to happen if Putin does agree to do it. Now, obviously, since these government buildings have been taken and they are proclaiming themselves to be people's republics separate from the Ukrainian government, the Ukrainian government has obviously already scheduled forces to come in and try to take those areas back. Now, we don't know the results of that as of the time of this recording, but hopefully that information will be available soon. We do know that these areas in the country where these uprisings are taking place have been heavily pro-communist for a very long time. In fact, the Communist Party is about the fourth largest party in the entire country. Now, these areas which have been seized by people proclaiming them to be people's republics are where the majority of the votes for the Communist Party actually come from. And we do also know that communists in the country, that since this whole situation with Crimea began, have gone through a tremendous radicalization process, which is very obvious and to be expected given the situation that's going on. So we cannot be surprised that these may be real communists. We can't 100% confirm it at this time. But a lot of communist groups in the country are saying that it is them, and they are doing this. And one last thing I wanted to make clear, this is all happening on the eastern end of the country, which is the industrial end. If you go more to the west, it's more agricultural, meaning the economic center, the areas of industrialization are the ones that are trying to break away. Now, if somehow this managed to work and these people's republics managed to break away from the mainstream Ukraine society, that would leave them at a severe disadvantage practically overnight. They've lost most of their industrial sector just like that. And that could potentially be, and I think very likely, would be a very crippling blow to that country and would sink its chances for trying to get in the EU. I mean, essentially, if you take any country and then take away its industrialization, you've created one hell of a problem. It's very likely that the loss of the industrial sector would actually cause a tremendous collapse in the government that's turning very, very fascist, which would be a good thing and might be enough to force them directly out of power and get anything put in its place. Now, we do have to keep in mind that all of this is preliminary information that just came out today as of the time of this recording. So things are going to change. Information is going to be different tomorrow than what it is today as I'm recording it, and over time more information is going to come out. But preliminarily, what we've seen from the scattered reports that are coming through, this is what's going on in the country right now. Thank you for watching. Please comment and rate the video. If you liked it, hit subscribe or check out some of these other great videos. If you wish, share it on social media. While you're at it, why don't you follow me on Twitter? And if you got time, go on over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.